So this is a Swift Solitaire 550, going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. You've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake at the front of the caravan. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. You've got the gas regulator on the bulkhead. Gas pipe work is available separately. And we have 2 gas bottle tie downs in the front locker, so you can carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles. On the side of the van, you've got your heating and hot water flue, and that is essentially the flue for the, like I said, for the heating and hot water system. Very similar to what you got on the side of your house. You'd never cover that. You need to leave it open at all times. You then have your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. You'd never lift the caravan with these legs, as it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Then got our water pump connection. So the blue trigger here, pull back to release and push in to put into the side of the van. And the actual pickup pipe will drop down inside the ack roll itself. Battery box on the side of the van. You've got your 2 quick release, 2 battery terminals on top, 2 12mm nuts hold them in place, so 12mm spanner will loosen off the nuts. You've then got your mains power lead coming into the side of the van, which connects to the power on site. Motor mover and wheel nuts. The motor mover will demonstrate again while you're here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct torque setting, so they are ready for when you take, or when you're here on site, so you can see they've been done correctly. Fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere. Down the side of the van, you'll see 2 grey flaps. You need to open those up, and you'll put your 2 bits of grey pipe into the large diameter circles on the outside and drop them down inside your Wastemaster. You've then got your toilet flush tank on the side of the caravan. So you'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. And in the bottom you have your toilet waste cassette, which you'll simply release by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out so the waste can be tipped away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink blue fluid. And then you've got an orange pressure relief button on the back, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Prior to using the cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid. On the rear of the caravan, on either side, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. Again, they are only there for stabilising, not lifting. On the door side of the caravan, you've then got your 2 fridge vents. They are there to allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit and also to take some cool air in for when the van or when the fridge is being used. Behind one of those, there'll also be a gas flue. You've then got your 3-pin socket, your telly connection box, or telly box essentially, where you can put a telly on the bracket, and then you've got your underbed storage for the front of the caravan. As you can see, we're now on the inside of the caravan. Above the door, you've got your main control panel for the caravan, so you've got power on and off on the left hand side. So you go back home, press and hold the power button, and the control panel will go off. Turn it on, press the button once, and the control panel will come back on. In here, you've got your options for your water pump, your awning light, your internal lighting on the caravan, so you can put them on by pressing the buttons there. There we go. And that'll bring the lights on at the front of the caravan, home screen. Power, you've then got your heating and hot water, which you can control through here, or the control panel to the left-hand side. Your control panel settings for setting your time, dates, etc. on the control panel through here. Radio. Again, works through here. You have to select the mode at the top, then go through and select the right channel you want. And then your fridge, you can operate it through the control panel also, but I'll demonstrate how it works on the front of the fridge. But again, you can select your modes up here, your temperature, and it will let you know the status of the fridge. At the moment, it's off, so obviously you can see it's a bit too warm at the moment. So the first thing we're going to need to do is fill the water system on board the caravan. Now, as I already showed you on the outside, we've already got our water pump connected. So we're going to come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the van. Underneath the seat you will find your yellow drain down valve. That yellow drain down valve needs to be parallel with the floor prior to filling the water system up. If that valve was upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it actually drained all of the water out of the system on board the van. So like I said, parallel with the floor prior to turning on the water pump. If you run the water pump dry, it could potentially burn the pump out eventually, so you always make sure you have water in the system. You'll then come over to every tap on board the caravan and open all the taps up on the hot side of the water heating. Now, as you can see, I've already had the water system filled on here, but we're going to go to the control panel above the door and we're going to turn on the water pump. You'll notice the water pressure's dropped down a little bit there, but as soon as the pump kicks back in and the system's a bit more fuller, the water pressure picks up again. Once the system's full and you've got water coming out of every tap on board the caravan, you can then shut the taps back off. At that point then, you can start thinking about warming the water ready for using the van. So on the control panel above the door, to the left of the main control panel, you have your Aldi control panel. You've got power off and power on. When it loads, we can go into the menu. At the top here, you've got your internal temperature for the caravan. So you've got minus or plus for setting the temperature on board the van. So you can put that up to whichever temperature you want, all the way up to 30. Turn it back down for now, as we don't need that on. Below that, you have your water temperature. So you've got water on and water boost. So when the bar's halfway up, that's water on. Then when it's full, that is water boost. Next one down is the amount of power you have coming into the caravan from the power supply on site. Now you can have the electric power coming into the van off if you wish to, as you can run it on gas. However, obviously it's more efficient on the electric. So you've got 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatts or 3 kilowatts of power available to run your heating and hot water system on. And it will depend on what caravan site you're on to what power supply you set that to. Down the bottom here, you have your option to run gas for the heating and hot water. You can select the gas option here, and the heating and hot water will then kick in and start operating on the gas system. If it comes up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen, it simply means that the gas has failed to ignite. If it does ever come up with that, I suggest you go to your hob, bleed the hob so you get the gas through on the hob itself, then go back over to your control panel and reignite the heating and hot water. You have got some advanced options on this side of the control panel at the bottom, where the gear symbol is, that will allow you to go into different settings, etc. for the caravan, including setting timers for your heating and hot water. Next thing we're going to go to is the fridge. So the fridge, power on. Sorry, it shouldn't actually be showing you that on the fridge itself. It's showing it on the control panel above the door as it all works through here. So you've got a fridge. You can then select your auto mode. Select what power source you wanted to use and the fridge will kick in. I'd imagine it's gone to 230 volts, which it has, as you can see on there. Okay, so you can control the fridge all through the control panel above the door. So you've got your temperature control for on gas or electric, depending on what temperature you want the fridge to be. So we'll have it fully cold for now. Down the bottom, you've got off, auto, which will normally go to the power source it's connected to. So and then you've got 230 volt mains, 12 volt DC for when you're towing down the road, so you can use the fridge as a call box. Coming up to let me know that there's no 12 volt supply coming into the caravan from a car at the front. So essentially, if you had a 12 volt live on the caravan from the caravan you're towing with, then you could actually run the fridge as a call box. You then also got your gas mode. So again, I'd recommend you bleed the gas system on the hob, get the gas working through there, then the control panel will allow you to run gas. Again, you can control the temperature of the fridge on the control panel above the door. To turn the fridge off, you press the off button on the left hand side here, and that will turn the fridge off completely. Last thing we're going to go through on this particular caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. Now from the outside, we showed you how to fill the tanks, etc. Inside, you have an electric flush on the toilet system. You have a full indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is full. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience. However, when you are removing the cassette from the van, you need to make sure it's square on with the back of the toilet. And then down below, you have your grey waste handle. You'll need to open this grey waste handle so the waste goes into the cassette underneath the van. If that handle was open, it'd actually stop the cassette from being removed also. So this is the Swift Solitaire 550. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.